Greetings. This is the one you've known as Jesus the Christ. My message to you today is about love. Not the emotion of love, but the sense of being that is love. Your beingness, your very being, is the experience of love. When people hear this, it confuses them because they think of love as an emotion. And so it is. Love does manifest as an emotion. You could say that the emotion of love is an octave, aspect, or expression of the deeper love that is your true nature. What I mean by this is that love is a knowingness of your unity with all that is. Knowing your unity with all results in the natural experience of what you would call love. Another word for love might be gratitude. In your heart, there's a deep gratitude for creation, for existence, and for the opportunity to simply experience life just as it is. This great gratitude is the essence of your being, and it is love. There's a love for life, a love for existing, a love for all creation, a love for all experience. Every experience is embraced by this that you are, the difficult experiences and the easy ones. They are all loved equally by the being that you are. They are all seen as precious, as meaningful, as holy, as part of the whole. The experience in this world of duality is one of both ease and non-ease. It's not possible to experience ease without non-ease. You can't have one without the other. Duality allows you to experience both. Therefore, each is valued. Each is recognized as necessary, as equally important, and therefore equally beloved. There is no wrong experience. There is no right experience either, you could say. The mind defines things as good or bad, right or wrong, but your being understands that all experience is necessary to evolve in this life, because that is how it is here. It simply is the way it is. The deep acceptance of this is a deep love for the way it is just as it is, because there is a deep knowing that it is exactly as it's meant to be, and that it can't be any other way than the way it is, for now. And then it changes. Life is an ever-unfolding journey toward greater understanding, greater love, and greater acceptance, as the human aspect of yourself comes to see the truth of what I'm saying. Most of you have seen the truth to one extent or another. The truth is not really that difficult to see. It's just difficult to accept for the aspect of yourself that is attached to its desires, its preferences, and its ways of being. A duality exists within you. There is the human self, which is primarily, until you awaken, run by the ego and manifests as the voice in your head. And then there is your divine self, which is here, right now, listening to these words, taking them in, and willing to receive the truth in all its forms, as transmission, as understanding, and as knowledge. You are willing to discover the truth about life. Your ego is not willing to do this. Your ego is going along for the ride, rather kicking and screaming, while you make the choice from your deeper self to go in the direction of love and acceptance. This is not the way the ego would go. The ego is not interested in going toward love and acceptance. Its nature is to resist life. Its nature is to desire something else, something different than what's showing up. It has its ideas of how life should be. These ideas about life, however, will never really match life. How could they? They're just ideas, and they don't come from any place of wisdom. They come from the programming, from the conditioned self. There is no wisdom in one's egoic desires. There is no truth in them. They don't reflect the truth about life, the truth about what would make you happy. In fact, desires often take you away from what would make you truly happy. To be truly happy, you have to look to deeper desires, ones that arise in you on a daily basis, but on a subtle level, not as a thought of I want or I need, but as impulses to move in directions that will fulfill you and develop and utilize your talents. These subtle impulses are something everyone is familiar with. They're not mysterious or even hidden, but it's up to you to choose to follow them. What is it that chooses to follow the deepest impulses over the ego's desires? That's a mystery, isn't it? There's something here that's able to be aware of both and able to choose, if there's sufficient awareness. When there isn't sufficient awareness, then the conditioning chooses, and behavior moves in the direction that the ego intends. When there is sufficient awareness, however, you're aware of these subtle impulses and their importance, the truth about them, because you've seen the falseness of the ego's desires. These deeper impulses come from love and move you toward love. What I mean by this is that they are always for the greatest good. They are for your individual good, and they are for the greatest good. So in following these impulses from your divine nature, you can never harm others. Others might not like your choices, but they will not be harmed by them. So any choice you make in response to these deep impulses will also be in everyone else's greatest good, because you cannot move in alignment with the whole without it also being aligned with the soul's plans of others. What is in your highest good is in other people's highest good as well. When you act from love and wholeness, there's a natural sense of fulfillment, happiness, joy, peace, and contentment. These are signs for being aligned with the truth, as well as the reward for that. Being aligned with the truth feels good and produces good results for yourself and for the whole. Your goodness seeks expression in the world, and when you express that, you feel good, and that goodness spreads. That is where true happiness lies. There is nothing more rewarding than that. There is nothing that will make you happier than that. This is the simple truth about life. Love is what drives you. Love is what makes you happy. And love is ultimately what will fulfill you and the plan of the whole, for you are not operating alone. Although you may not be aware of it, each of you is playing a particular part within the whole, and the whole needs you to play that part. It's easier for you to play that part when you're aligned with the truth of your being, with these subtle impulses, than when you're involved with the egoic mind and your ego's desires. The whole functions much better the more that people are aligned with the truth of their being. This is how the evolution of a society or of a people can be promoted, by bringing people in touch with the truth of their own being, so that they act on the basis of those impulses and drives rather than on their egoic drives. This makes for a very different world, and this is the purpose of raising consciousness in this world in whatever way that comes about. Within each of you is an evolutionary impulse, which you're following to one extent or another, that is bringing about an evolution of consciousness, and there are things that can facilitate this evolution. There have always been guides and helpers who are facilitating the evolution of a society, of a world, and we are part of that evolution. We are sending the love, inspiration, and energy you need to evolve. But you must receive it, you must open to it, and you must pay attention to those subtle impulses of your true nature. Then we can work most effectively through you. The transmission is designed to bring you into greater alignment with the truth of your being. So we thank you for being here, for participating, for opening to this transmission, for we wish to raise your energy. And when you also wish to raise your level of consciousness, we will have much greater success. So thank you for being here, and thank you for opening to us. I am with you always.